As I've been cleaning out my personal library, I've also been finding some books that I bought way back when but never gave a read. One of those books is called First, Break All the Rules. Now, this book was written about the time I was starting my career as an engineer. I think it was written a little bit before. I think it was written while I was still in high school. Now, I never noticed this book or even knew it existed until I started working as an intern. And I noticed this book occupied prominent places on a number of managers' desks. Like they were displaying it to the world, like, I read this book. That in of itself turned me off to it because I've always thought that people that posed with books were pretentious. And I think in this context, I was 100% justified in my assessment. People pretending to have read this book. I sincerely doubt most of them have ever cracked the book open. Or they may have read a few chapters or a couple of chapters and then put it down. But they wanted to make sure everybody knew that they had read the book. Well, I cracked open the book, skipped over the first chapter, read the second chapter, and while I don't necessarily agree with everything that I'm reading, I find some of the insights to be, well, they reinforce things that I learned through experience. I would say one of the central premises of this book, there's the line that you are your filter, or your filter is you. For all intents and purposes, that is accurate. How you view the world and how you interact with the world determines the world's assessment of you. Nobody knows your inner monologue unless you give voice to it. And I think most people at work aren't interested in everyone else's inner monologue. And those that say they are either extremely weird or they're trying to convert you to their religious beliefs. That being said, there are other parts of this book that I thought were, if not wanting, definitely reflected a, hey, let's say something provocative and then let's back it up with our opinions. I don't know how else to put it but that. The title of the book is First, Break All the Rules. Well, what are the rules that you're breaking? Well, basically, they're the unwritten rules of management. Well, what are those? Well, generally speaking, from what I've been able to determine, butt kissing and backstabbing are things that are done because they work. If they didn't work, people wouldn't do it. Well, I don't see anywhere in the book where it says flat out, don't do that. I do see things in the book where it says the great managers don't obey the golden rule, but rather they don't treat others as they want to be treated, but rather treat them in a manner that elicits the maximum productivity from them, or elicits something from them. Basically, you don't interact with people in the manner that you want to be interacted with, but you interact with them in a way that gets you what you want. Well, that again works, but I find that to be morally dubious. It's simply unfair, and it's simply, it's not the way you treat people that you respect. It's the way you treat people that you want to use and are willing to dispose of at a later date.